Okay, and so this man just hit on me at a gas station. This kind of showed me like how far I've come in my maturity. He was like, I spent Thanksgiving alone, and I was like, so did I. And I told him what I ate: soup and crackers and chocolate. So then he twice asked me where I live, and he's like, "You're not from around here, are you?" I'm like, "Not particularly." So he might have gathered from that I was, well, I mean, I'm not really, because I'm a transplant. But anyways, he creeped me out, because why, upon knowing someone for 30 seconds, would you want to know where they live? Men, in case you're wondering, this is not a good tactic, but you're probably still going to use it because you want to know where the girl lives just so you can fuck her and leave her. That's the only reason a man would want to know that. And I'm not interested in that at all anymore. Thank you very much. So, it's kind of ridiculous. Once I said I don't really want to be hit on to him, he told me that he made a pot roast, and he changed his posture to be sideways to me and moved about 3 feet towards his car. Then his friend came up and looked at me kind of the same way, like I was an object. I'm starting to understand the feeling is different. Like, there's a feeling I get from men when they look at me and they just think they should be able to fuck me because they looked at me. And it can be dangerous too if I'm not experiencing that feeling from a man, because then he just might be more into abuse, and fucking's not really the thing that he likes. He just likes to have power or control over you. And like every man I live around in the house I live in, my roommates, there's 3 girls and there's 3 guys. Well, I hope they never watch this, but I know they're not interested in me enough to look up my name on the internet. I hope not. They're kind of immature men. I'm not going to go into details, but I don't get good vibes, that's all I'm saying. I'm starting to understand the energy I'm reading about people is true. And like, I don't have to sell myself short, and this took me like years to understand. There are good men out there, I imagine. I've met like 2 in my life. One of them was single, one of them wasn't. But the one who wasn't really interested in me that way. And at first I wasn't even interested in him that way, but some chick at the restaurant I worked at was like, you know, you should get with him, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I think he had some control issues too. But a pretty solid man. He would like tell the truth and stuff. I would kind of get jealous when he would like talk to other women and like make the whole like table laugh or whatever, because he was a waiter and I was a hostess at this point. And because I want him to pay attention to me, so I wrote a song about it. What was it? When you said hello, it sounded like love. I mean, it was more infatuation for me at that point, I'm sure, because I didn't know him well enough to love him. And he gave me like all these compliments one day. And so that's when well, she wasn't really a friend, but at that point she liked me because I did everything she wanted. She didn't like me after one day I tried to like leave like on time and left all the tables instead of cleaning them, because I thought that's my right to do. There's another bus run, he can clean the fucking tables. So she didn't like me after that, after I like stood up for myself or whatever. It's just like, you know, whatever I was being paid at that point, probably $5.65 an hour. This is back in 2006. You know, plus tips. No. Even if I was being paid more, I wouldn't stay over my shift, because I get to have like time by myself, and I was tired and exhausted. And there's a difference between like doing your job and like overspending yourself when no one's even really gonna care that you did it. most likely they're going to take more advantage of you. They might promote you to manager, but that never happened to me. I almost got to be a waitress, but I kind of just threw it under the table and like kind of more or less told them I wasn't worth it, because that's how I felt about myself at that point. Kind of a strange thing to do. For years I wondered why I did it. I understand a little better now. I just didn't have very high self-esteem. I don't know if I could have been a waitress at that point. I probably had too many emotional issues, but I'm not giving myself a hard time about it. It's just I didn't feel very good about myself at that point. And that's not really my fault. Like, I mean, what teenager coming out of the situation I came out of would feel great? And that would be a lie. So still kind of like finding myself and wondering why I wasn't being recognized by people or cared for. I was recognized when I played music, and I was recognized for playing music around town, even as a hostess, but I wasn't really able to be myself. Like, I knew I was powerful, but I didn't really have the courage to stand in my own truth or my own drama, play on life. I can be kind of dramatic, but I think that word gets a bad rep. You know? That's just kind of who I am. I have a lot of emotions, and that's fine. But I thought I wouldn't be accepted for that, so I just generally didn't say anything to anyone ever. Unless they asked me a question. I'm not really like that anymore. Anyways, I was just at the grocery store, and I needed to cash the money order I got from my mother. And the person behind the counter was kind of doing a shitty job at their job, and like purposely being lazy and slow and not helping people. And I made her feel uncomfortable. I didn't say anything, but I stood like against the I don't know, front of the counter. I don't know, 8 feet away from her with my back against the counter. And at one point I set my purse on the counter and made sure I knew where my money order was. And I didn't like deny my feelings were that I was pissed off at her. And I wasn't like huffing and puffing. I was just standing there. So when I go up to cash the money order, she gets on the phone, but she doesn't say anything, and she's like on it for 2 minutes. She presses some buttons and she holds the phone to her ear. I just stood there, still pissed. Anyways, then she gave me the $20 and gave me a look. I think she would have preferred that I would have like directly fought her, but people are kind of funny like that. I don't really want to give them what they want if they're being a dick. And I don't need to directly fight people to make a point. So, yeah, she gave me a look like, you bitch. But she was a bitch. Because she hadn't done her job well, on purpose. You know? Something I've done, I don't know. Like maybe 2 times in my life. I mean, I still did the job well, but like I was checked out. So I've checked out a few times, but I still like done my job efficiently. Even though I was in like pretty bad mental places. And really in a lot of like pain every day. And just feeling like I was out of place and I didn't belong, because I didn't. I should have been singing, but the depression was making that so difficult. So I think I had to take kind of a break and find myself, and I punished myself over this for a long time. Like, why am I not still playing music? And I still wanted to sing, but my ex-husband didn't want to hear it, so I couldn't even sing in the apartment. But, because I didn't really understand how to set boundaries with people yet. Now I just kind of have no problem with my feelings. And I'm not going to hurt anybody with them. But standing up for yourself is a different thing. Letting people know that they're being bullshit is a different thing. So, 2 instances where I stood up for myself today, either directly or indirectly. So that was good. I feel good about it. High five!